Hello, this is Mish from Downtime Distractions, having a first look at Cat Simulator. So this title is coming to Steam Early Access on the 12th of February, and it is developed and published by Funny Games Group. So before we get started with some gameplay, I will put the subscription button bottom left hand corner. Please subscribe, it really helps us out. Okay, and let's have a look at some gameplay of Cat Simulator. So welcome to Cat Simulator gameplay. So what we have is we're a cat, obviously. It is Cat Simulator, and the goal is to destroy as much stuff as possible. Well, not really destroy it, but just make a mess and eat rats and mice. So the more stuff you knock off, the more points you get. And you see that you have a timer top left hand corner, and so you have a limited amount of time to do as much destruction as possible. So the best way to get points is by eating the vermin. They give you 100 points if you can catch them. Come back. There we go. So the main difficulty with this game is really fighting the controls and the physics, neither of which seem to be very well optimized. I find myself spending most time just trying to jump in a forward direction opposed to directly up. So even if sometimes you're traveling forwards and you press up, you just seem to go nowhere. Interesting skybox as well. It's a really bad texture. I don't know how that happened. Okay, get rid of that. And my highest score is 990, I think, which is a pretty good effort. So with our videos at Downtime Distraction, we kind of have a look at the gameplay to show the view of the gameplay that we're in the game itself, obviously, and then we kind of highlight our thoughts on graphics, audio, and gameplay in a final summary. With this game, I'm also going to talk about the elephant in the room, which I've kind of been alerted to by reading the forum on Steam about this game. So that'll be a bit of an interesting topic. So this game is giving me pretty bad motion sickness as well, so I don't think I'll have. I'll try and suck it up and have one more game after this, just to show you. There is only one level, so really this is it. Hey, see, there's my top score, 990. Not bad, actually, not bad. Right, let's just one more go, and before the sickness kicks in, come on. Knock these books off, and a shield. Down they go. So there is no sound in the game. There is no music in the game, I should say. There is the sound of me jumping, which kind of sounds like a ninja for some reason. So maybe I'm a ninja cat. Let's just pop down here. No. So frustrating that. Going forward, let me up. Give up. Oh, a rat. We got him. I'll just go over here and knock this stuff off. The chests seem easy to get up onto than a lot of stuff. Just that. So that physics there is quite annoying, because often you'll hit an item that you're trying to knock off. Hey, I got a rat, and it just throws you off like that. I don't think that would have been their goal, right? I think it would have been, it's probably just a consequence of the physics itself. But yeah, that's probably the main bugs I'm finding. So just the controls are really hard to use. They feel quite dull, and being thrown off areas, being pushed by items you're trying to push, doesn't really make sense. Even for a cat simulator. Yep. The jump responders. It's annoying. Okay, well, we're nearly done anyway. And then so we'll get into positives, negatives, and the elephant in the room. Oh, a rat. Gotcha. Okay, get these books. There we go. Got them all. Try and get these shields. The shields get pretty good points. You knock them off. I think it's 15. Yeah, 15. Not a bad score, actually. considering how much I got stuck before. Okay, so let us address what I've seen from the Steam forums. So here we go. So what am I talking about with this elephant in the room? Well, whenever I look at a game, I read the description, and if it's early access, I have a good read of that to know what the plan is going forward. And also I sometimes read the comments people have made, how they're feeling about it. And with this one, I kept seeing people saying Cat Simulator is just Project Cats. Cat Simulator has been ripped off from Project Cats. And I was like, well, what is Project Cats? So having a bit of a look, I see that Project Cats was a game out last year. I don't know where it's gone now. I don't know why it's no longer on Steam. But that game used to contain 6 mini-games. And one of those mini-games was a one called Hunter Mode. Now, I linked to a YouTuber who did a review of Project Cats. So Jim Sterling, he does awesome reviews. So just in my description below, I'll put that link in there. So at 5 minutes 50, he looks at Hunter Mode. Now, if you look at that Hunter Mode, visually, the layout of the level and the assets are a carbon copy of what Cat Simulator is. Granted, there are differences. The inputs to the cat are a little different, so your mouse now works a little better and your jump is now bound to your space, and it is no longer obviously Hunter Mode. So Hunter Mode, I believe, was just chasing mice and rats, but the new mode that we play is, you know, doing the same thing but also knocking things over, so a bit of destruction in there. And I think that has kind of rubbed people up the wrong way, and I think what's made it worse is the comments from the developers on the Steam and in the forum saying, hey, this is a different game. I think the way that they need to approach something like this is to say, we have taken Hunter Mode from this game and we have tweaked it and made this new game. It almost, I don't know, it almost seems unethical to do something like this and say it's a new game. They say it was, you know, the ideas come from Hunter Mode, but if you look at it, there's no doubt in my mind that they've just reused the whole engine, assets, and level that they've already done and just tweaked it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reusing assets or the engine, but when you do it to this scale and then you don't admit it, I think that it just rubs people up the wrong way. You know, I mean, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig, right? So that's the elephant in the room. I don't know the price of this game. If this game comes out free to play, I think this is acceptable. If this game costs any more than $1 or $2, it's really needs. You really need to think about it. And also, if you've bought Project Cats and then they want you to purchase this, that's also going to annoy some people. But yeah, so that's the elephant in the room. So with that out of the way, let's get into how I feel about the actual game. So positives and negatives on graphics, audio, and gameplay. So every time I start with graphics. So let's just disregard what I just said about the elephant in the room and let's just look at this for what it is, right? As a standalone game. So graphics, pretty poor really. Bad textures. You're so close to these textures as well, so it's not too pretty at all. You don't have any options as well, which is also quite a big concern. It made me quite motion sick, this game. I haven't had that strong a motion sickness for a long time. So that's something to raise as well. The assets, pretty mundane, really. The skybox, I don't know what is up with that. It's got quite a bad black marks all over it. So yeah, overall graphics are really not too good. I mean, it is functional, so it works, but it is not pretty. Okay, so let's move on to audio. The initial music, it's elevator music, but you only hear it for a few seconds because you press play and then all the music disappears. So that is not very good at all. Having good music in a game like this would help a lot. A repetitive game needs something to at least catch you with a catchy tune, and this has no music apart from at the very start. So that's not good at all. The sound assets themselves are low quality, and they don't really fit. I mean, the cat's meow is fine, obviously, but like the movement and the knocking stuff off, it kind of sounds like a ninja jumping around. You know, it's very strange. So yeah, I mean, sound not too good as well. So we're not doing too good here. So let us move on to gameplay. Okay, so I've got a couple of outstanding things with gameplay. One would be the physics. Being pushed off shelves and tables by vases and candles. I don't think that will be a design choice. I think that is a bug. So hopefully they could fix that going forward, because it's very frustrating. Trying to get a good score, jumping on a shelf and getting flung across a room by a book. Surely that was not correct. So that's not too good. The actual gameplay, the game mode mechanic, it's very repetitive. They could easily mix it up and do different things. I mean, I'll go into some suggestions after this, but yeah, at the moment, with one level, one game mode, very repetitive, very mundane. So that's unfortunate. And the other, I guess, a thing about the gameplay is the feel of the movement, and it's not good. It's very slow. It's cumbersome. It doesn't feel like a cat at all. I mean, to start with, a cat, it should be moving around fast. It should be able to run up walls, well, partially. It should do crazy stuff. That would make the game far better if you could just do crazy stuff all across the place, make the room massive, So yeah, I guess overall, not good for graphics, audio, or gameplay. I don't know the price of this game. If it's free to play, there's no harm in downloading it, right? Then you can give some feedback yourself. But if there's any cost to it, I'd say stay clear of it. And also that thing I mentioned regards the elephant in the room and where this game has come from, that is, as I say, I kind of get the gut feeling it's unethical. Many companies reuse assets. I mean, you just got to look at the Call of Duty franchise to see something like that. They reuse assets all the time. They reuse the engine so many times. All the big companies do. But they do it on a scale where you probably don't notice. Most of the time you don't even notice. But this one is blatantly obvious. So that is not good. But let us try to be positive in our feedback to the developers, because this is early access. Things can change. Who knows? Maybe this game will take off. But yeah, so let's give some feedback, some positive suggestions. So the first thing I would suggest would be fix the motion on the cat. The cat should move twice as fast as that, or maybe even have it so you can move slowly, then press shift and double your speed or something. Get it so the jump actually jumps across the room as a cat does, and the ability to maybe partially run up a wall. So if you're a cat simulator, you kind of want to simulate a cat. So those things would greatly help. I mean, if you increase the size, do that, then double the size of the area you're in, then you've got a bit of more depth to the game. Many different modes. I mean, I looked in the game files and I could see there's multiple levels mentioned, but surely I don't think that's right. I think that's something else. But multiple different levels to go to, which can come in early access. Multiple different modes, so just have ones where you're chasing the mice or rats, have ones where you've got to not knock anything down. So there's so many things you could do. But even to release a game in early access, even if it is free, in this day, it's just so lackluster in content. It's a real shame. But you know, it is a cat simulator, so what do we expect? Okay, so let's just wrap it up here. Graphics, audio, gameplay, all very weak. If this game was free, I'd say sure, give it a go. By looking at the Steam page again, I think there will be a price associated with this title, because they mentioned going forward they're going to increase the price in increments as they release more content. So they plan on releasing levels, characters, and graphics. I don't know what and graphics mean. Maybe make better graphics. Who knows? So I would say avoid this. And also the whole issue regards Project Cats. So you need to use your moral compass on that, on how you feel about stuff like that. So for me, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention too before I close off is I'm disappointed with Steam for letting this game come out on Steam. On one side, I guess there's a whole other topic. Should this game be released on Steam in early access? So that's not what I'm getting at. So that's another topic. What I'm getting at is there are so many free-to-play, rehashed old games, bad ports. There's so many games flooding Steam in this massive swell that the fantastic games that are being released, that are made with love and over years and years of someone's sweat and tears, they're just being lost in this constant swell of games. And that's the real shame out of everything about these games. Look back through some of the titles that we've reviewed, the ones where we say they're quite good within Downtime Distraction, just to get an idea. I mean, some of them are fantastic, and it is a real shame. So I don't know the solution, because everyone has a different opinion on what they like. Some people might think this game is amazing. You know, the Crazy Cat Lady probably loved this game, but for me, that's the real downside to games like this, is just the loss of visibility for the real genuinely awesome games. So I'll leave it here. Give me a like if you liked it. Give me your suggestions to improve, and also how you're finding Cat Simulator if you get it, or any information on Project Cats. Subscribe for more videos from us, and we'll see you next time.